the most common question is where to get the data, right? So there are two types of data which you can get. First is free data and other is paid data, right? So when it comes to free data, you can definitely use resources like Yahoo Finance, uh, Investify, Python library, and maybe even uh, log the data on your own end, right? So what this gives you is that usually free data is available on a daily frequency. Uh, Seldom you get it on a minute frequency, or maybe 15-minute candle or something like that. When it comes to paid data, they offer you different sorts of frequency like 1 minute, 1 second, 15-minute, hourly candle, and so on. So uh, in addition to that, they also offer data like expired option data or expired future contracts data, which might be necessary when you are working with advanced trading strategies, maybe the futures or the options trading and so on. So before you proceed with any sort of purchase of the data, it's very important to know a couple of points. The first and foremost is the data vendor should be a authorized data seller, right? So be it in India or be it in United States or Europe, and whichever other country you are in right now, there's always a list of authorized data vendors. The country's stock index, they have authorized a few companies to resell this particular data. Now, this data is a bit authentic than the other free data in terms of there is lesser chance of getting a data gap, uh, or some sort of maybe outliers are not there, which were not experienced in real life market data, right? Uh, and that's where you can go about for the paid data. Another source of paid data is your data broker itself, the trading broker where you connect with, uh, be it uh, interactive brokers or any other broker which provides you API access. They usually provide you a data subscription as well for you to run your algo trading strategies. So there you can also get access to live trading data and maybe use that to uh, view the data in your algorithm in real time. Uh, with regard to data, I think that was it. Moving on to the next question is, what is forward bias? So to give you a background about forward bias is like when we are backtesting, as I had just earlier mentioned in the reinforcement learning question, that you cannot predict the open price using the close price. The simple reason is that open price comes first in time and then the close price comes. By extension, similarly, if you are trading across different markets, maybe the US market and the UK market, right? So UK markets close first, right? Because they are ahead of time, and US markets close later. But if you are maybe trading commodities on both these exchange, and when you are doing back testing, you take the close price of individual exchange and then try to make a strategy for that particular data set. That would result in a forward bias because the UK exchanges have already closed, and that is when you get the close price, and the US exchange is closing later, and the close price is at a totally different time. But when you are backtesting, you are assuming it is at the same time and then running your strategy accordingly. So this sort of bias, which is because of a time difference, or maybe you're using some sort of data which is not yet available to you, that is forward bias. And how to avoid forward bias is to basically ensure whenever you are running any sort of strategy, uh, you should use the shift function in Python very carefully. Uh, because if you use the shift -1, so that is you are looking one step ahead. So that gives you access to the future data when you don't have it at the moment. Your backtest may run very well that way, but your real time data will not have the option to do a shift -1, right? You cannot you cannot peek at the for future data. So when you are constructing your strategy, it's very important to keep in mind that you are not using any information which is not otherwise available to you. Now, what sort of performance metrics should be seen when backtesting? So there are innumerable performance metrics. Like you can see different people try to judge these strategies differently. But like the most commonly accepted metrics, I would say, first of all, you should get an equity curve, which is essentially the cumulative returns over time. Then you should get the Sharpe ratio, and you should at least get the drawdown. Now, when you are maybe running the strategy over a long period of time, then it also makes sense to get the annualized returns. And these are the essential performance metrics which you should be looking at. But this is not an exhaustive list. As you go ahead and try to maybe fine tune your strategy with different features or different sort of uh, uh, indicators, that way you will might need to see the Kalmar ratio and so on. There's also Sortino ratio. So there's an endless list to what all performance metrics you can look at. But as I mentioned, Sharpe ratio, the equity curve, annualized returns, and maximum drawdown, these are the bare essentials which you should not miss when you're doing any sort of backtesting. How to backtest strategy using Blueshift? So as I mentioned earlier, Blueshift is one of the platforms where you can build backtest and maybe even paper trade or live trade your strategies. So in Blueshift, the coding is very similar to what Python is. In the backend, it is essentially Python. Uh, so the code editor which you see in Blueshift, it is just Python-like language, and whatever strategy you build, you can use import pandas, you can use import NumPy, and so on. If you are really new to programming, if you are really not comfortable with writing lots of code, and you just want to try to build your strategy, you can also use the Blueshift visual programming feature, where you can use different sort of strategy blocks and try to build your own strategy. The documentation for both of these is available on the Blueshift website, and they also give you some sort of templates where you can just load a existing template and see what sort of uh, strategy they have made. The strategy is not important there. In the template, they show you more like a guideline on how you should write your strategy. Like if you want to place an order, you should do order target percent or order target with the asset name and so on and so forth. So it's really easy to use and very intuitive. So maybe you can check out the Blueshift platform if you have not already done so. It's free to use, and you just need an email ID to sign up.